I'll be using this repair kit to take apart this first PS4. I normally use electric screwdrivers because they're a lot faster when I have to do a lot of them, so I will switch to that at some point, but I'll use this for this first repair just so you can see everything that's included. Now with all that being said, let's get started on our first repair. So for PS4 number 1, it does work, it won't pull in the disc. So the first thing we need to do is get the bottom cover off and get the disk drive out and have a look at it. Wow, and this is pretty dirty inside, so we're gonna need to give all this a real good cleaning. But first, let's get the disk drive out and get this fixed. And here you can see the main problem with this disk drive. These rollers are absolutely disgusting. So I'm gonna get these cleaned off and then get the rest of the disk drive cleaned as well. Okay, we have this PS4 together enough to test it. Once we test it and verify that it works, then we'll get the rest of it cleaned, but we gotta make sure it works first. And here's our disc. Let's see if it goes in and if it spins. Goes in nice. All right, and it spins up normally. So the disk drive fixed. Now we just got to get it all cleaned up and then it'll be ready to go. I'm not going to show much of the cleaning as we've got a lot of PS4s to fix, but I'll show you when it's done. I do want to show this part of the cleaning because this type of fan is exactly what this brush is for. This cleaning brush gets just right in there. And watch carefully and you'll see it get most of all that stuff right off. Now there's like hair and stuff caked on pretty good to the fan. So this one's gonna take a little bit extra to get off, but you can see how it's just pulling that stuff right up out of there. These bristles are nice and thick and strong, so that's gonna get in there and get all that stuff just pulled right out. We also do need to get this from the Wi-Fi antenna. There we go. So the other thing about this cleaning brush is it does get right along the sides. You can just go right along the edges and it fits right in there. You can see this gap right here where the dirt collects. This can just get right in there and just get clean out any dirt real quick. Now the problem when you see a fan that dirty is that means the heat sink, which is right back here, is gonna be super dirty as well. So I'm gonna get this taken apart. I'll show you how to clean the heat sink, and that's the last thing I'm gonna show you on this one. And then I'll show you guys when it's all done and move on to number 2. As you've probably noticed, this one actually did have a few cockroaches in it, which is disgusting, but it does happen sometimes. And now let's look at the heatsink. And there we go. Now you can see exactly what causes most overheating problems on these. So what happens is the fan spins around, spins air through this. While it's spinning, it catches up any dust or debris, and that gets clogged right on the heatsink, which makes it so the air doesn't flow. Blow through the heatsink, which doesn't cool it. So we got to get all this off of here. Oh yeah, look at this. Look at how thick that is. That's how thick it was. So this was probably overheating pretty quickly after they started a game. So then we take our brush, just get all in the fins and brush that all out. There we go. Now I've got to get the fan cleaned up, all the rest of this dust cleaned up, and then we can put it all back together and see how it works. And now we have this one pretty clean. We're not going to get it perfect, especially because this one did have cockroaches in it. So we're not going to get it perfect, and I will sell it just as a unit that did have cockroaches in it, so the buyer knows exactly what they're getting. Now we have it fixed and we have it cleaned. Let's see if it works, and it plays the disc. Okay, takes it in normally, that's good news. And there we go, we have the disc playing, it's pulled up on the screen. So PS4 number 1 is fixed, let's move on to PS4 number 2. PS4 number 2 also won't pull in the disc, so I'm gonna go ahead and get this fixed. If there's something strange in here or something interesting, I'll let you guys know, but I'm gonna go ahead and fix it off camera just so we get this video moving along. So the problem with this disk drive actually is pretty interesting. When I took the disk drive out, I found this white piece laying in the bottom here. This piece is the part in the previous repair that you saw went between the two rollers right here. I'm gonna take this disk drive apart and then I'll show it to you a little bit closer. And this is what we find when I take this out. See, one of the rollers is just laying in here. This is a very common problem with these. This roller is kind of scuffed up, but I think it'll be good enough to put back in. The disc won't go in super smooth, but it'll go in smooth enough that it won't cause any problems. I'm gonna get this cleaned up, then we'll pop this back on, clean the laser, and then we'll put it back in and see if it works. Now I've got the rollers back installed. The disk drive is back in the PS4. Let's see if it works. Okay, it pulls in the disk nicely. And here we go, the disk is in the PS4, it's spinning, and it shows up on the screen right there. So PS4 number 2 is fixed. Let's move on to number 3. And here we go with PS4 number 3. This PS4 works, it has a super loud fan, and won't pull in disks. So I'm guessing we're going to need to do a lot of cleaning and replace the fan. I'll skip the cleaning part, and we'll go straight to replacing the fan on this one. And let's take a look at the heatsink and the fan. I expect heatsink to be plugged, which it definitely is. And then we do need to place this fan. Let me get it out so you can see exactly what's wrong with it. And here we go. This shows what's wrong with the fan. If you listen carefully, I'll put my microphone up to it so you can hear the bearing, hopefully. I don't know if that came across on video, but the bearing inside the fan is definitely dirty. Unfortunately, there's no way to replace these bearings as they're like molded onto this metal piece. Oops. So we just have to replace the whole fan assembly. I'm going to get this all cleaned out, install the fan, then put it all back together and see if it all works. Now I have number 3 cleaned, the fan replaced. Let's see if it all turns on and works properly. Okay, it pulls the disc in normally. And the fan is working 100% normal. It does show up on screen right here, so the disc is working normally. Also, I do want to emphasize I cleaned the inside. The outside of these have not been cleaned. We'll do all of that after we have all the repairs done. Let's move on to number 4. So here we are with number 4. This one has the blue light of death and loud fan. The blue light of death is normally caused by faulty APU or faulty solder